James Dutton, pro boxing fans, delighted to be joined with Vinny Paz. Vinny, how you doing?
Good evening. Nice to be here. Good day, mate.
You've just come off a long flight. Thank you for joining us so soon after. So we'll talk a little bit about your career. Fought for top names in the sport: Roy Jones Jr., Harold Graham, Lloyd Honeyghan, and Roberto Duran twice, beating him twice. Throughout your career, who was the hardest fight you ever had?
In my career, I wanted hard fights every time out. I didn't want no cakewalks, or I didn't want no easy guys. And they were all tough fights. The very few of them were not hardcore. There's always a couple, but all tough, hard fights. And when I think of that, I think about the one guy that hit me the hardest is a guy named Hands of Stone. What was his name?
Duran?
Oh yeah, Roberto Duran. Yeah, Roberto Duran. That guy, damn, like, boom, every time. But see, I'm like that once in a while, but that dude was like that every time.
So I want to take you back to your first world title. You beat Greg Haugen, a man who you claimed you hated. How was it feel?
Who was his name?
Greg Haugen.
Greg Haugen.
How was it to win your first world title?
I don't remember that guy. Greg Haugen. Oh, the guy that I beat twice.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. He's a twat. I hate him.
How did it feel to win the world title against him?
Oh, when I won my first world title, I looked up and I just said, I found God. I found the Lord and Savior. But 2 months went by and I realized that, no, I didn't. Yeah, I hate that kid too, by the way. Just let me add that in there, because not a good guy.
Why is there a rivalry there between you two?
You think Greg Haugen might see this?
Doubt it.
Rivalry because he's a twat. He's not a good guy. See, I might talk a lot of shit, but I'm a good guy. He's not a good guy. And that's the bottom line. And I'm so glad, I'm so glad I beat his ass 2 out of 3 times. And in the last fight, it was in front of the president of our country. It was in front of Donald Trump. I was so happy to beat his ass that day. He didn't even touch me. I went in I was even feeling good. I had a tan and everything. He didn't even cut me. He didn't cut me. My skin was not tough at all. He didn't even touch me. But the third fight was very memorable, and especially because Trump was at the fight. I beat him on a 10-round decision. And every time I see him, I don't want to smack you, but can I do it just to show you? I said, hey, Greg, how you doing? I had 2 out of 3, you know that, right? Every time, 2 out of 3, right?
Now, you boxed on until 2004. Looking back, do you think you could have or should have retired earlier?
No, because I wanted to get to 50 wins. Or I would have retired earlier if I didn't want to get that accomplishment. I just thought it was really cool if I could get to 50 wins, because not many fighters do that. And got 50 wins, 5 world titles, 3 brain cells left. I'm pretty good.
As you can see, we've had a change of location. Back to where we were, Vinny. So I was talking about Tyson Fury in the WWE. Yourself, you refereed a match at WrestleMania. Now, why is it such a positive thing for boxers to go into wrestling? Is it a publicity stunt? Is it financial?
Well, a little of both. It's, first of all, it's fun. It's really fun. And second of all, the money doesn't hurt. You always can pick up another girlfriend or buy some clothes. So um, it's a cool thing. And then even the president, even the president does it. He even did a gig I saw one night. Yeah, everyone gets involved in that. Vince McMahon, he's a genius. And what an empire he created, right? Wow, it's literally bigger than boxing. Go figure. But yeah, it was cool. I think let me see. Where did I do mine? I was in the ring with Butterbean in
Bart Gunn.
Bart Gunn. And before I went, like, Vince McMahon called me and asked me if I wanted to do it. I said, yeah, Vince, I'll do it. So I went down there, and well, they paid me. I think they paid me $10,000. No big deal, but it was fun. And so at first, I didn't know if it was going to be real or not. And when I talked to Vince, I said, Vince, who's going to win? He said, no, it's real. I said, Vince, come on, who's going to win? And he says, no, Vinny, it's a real fight. I said, no way. So now I want the boxer to win. I want to see the fighter win. So I go, I get to the arena, and I'm pretty sure it was Philadelphia. I think, right? Maybe the Philadelphia Spectrum. I think that's where it was held, and the place was packed. And no matter where it was packed. And so I get there. I see all the guys, like The Rock and this one and that one. All right, so where was I? Philadelphia Spectrum. So I go there, and of course I want Butterbean to win. I don't want to see a kind of fake wrestler, beat him. So I see when I get there, I see The Rock. He was really cool, and all kind of guys. And then I was telling them about it, that I'm here to ref, the real fight. And they said, oh, Vinny, Bart Gunn's going to kill him. Like most of them, they said, Bart Gunn's going to kill him, Vinny. You got to see him. He's been in shape. He's training. I'm like, really? Like, okay. So then I go into Bean's room. I go into Butterbean's locker room. I said, Bean, please tell me you're ready for this, whatever you're doing, this fight. I said, this is real. I said, you know that, right? He says, oh, man, yeah, I'm good. I trained. I'm ready. I said, good. I hope you are. Of course, I want to see you win. And next thing you know, I'm in the ring, and give the fighters the instructions. All right, let's fight. Boom. 10 seconds into the fight, I went, oh, my God. Butterbean's going to kill this freaking guy. Sure enough, 20 seconds later, boom, he goes down. I should have called it off right there, but I didn't want to. Not that I wanted to see him get, like, parlayed or beat up, but I didn't want to because the fans, the fans want to see the wrestler win, of course. So I give him a shot. And I literally pick him up. I put him like his shoulder. I put my shoulder under his. I lift him up, and I go, "You ready?" And he's going, And I'm like, "All right, let's fight." But boom, they go at it again. Bean hits him with an overhand right, and I went, "Oh my God, this is it. I can't do it no more." And I called it off, and. All the wrestlers thought that Bart Gunn was gonna kick his ass, like all of them. It was incredible. Like really. I said, but most of the wrestlers I tell them, I said, Butterbean can fight, right? He can really fight. And he goes, oh yeah, Vinny, no, Bart Gunn's gonna kill him. Like, oh well, see what happened. Sorry, Bart. Sorry.
I just want to go back to the evening of your life-threatening and what should have been a career-ending car accident. To take back to that night momentarily, what do you remember of that evening?
Crazy night. Craziest night of my life. Worst night of my life. And to cut it short and make it easy, it turned out to be great. And now it's viewed as the greatest comeback in the history of sports. And that's pretty freaking cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You were told by the doctors that you may never walk again. Now, what motivated you to continue towards a comeback?
What rhymes with calls? Very good. Very good. Scott, shut up. You talking way too much. Zena, Scott Murray's in the room here.
You're currently on a
She's gonna crack up.
UK tour with the aid of Scott Murray of Bar Sport. Now, when you're not touring, what do you do these days, 15 years on from retiring?
I have a lot of fun. I like to live it up. I have a lot of fun in my life, and I hope and thinks that's the way it should be for the rest of my life. I'm gonna ball out till I fall out, and that's good enough for me. I want to help a lot of people along the way, and I do that all the time, and it gets really overlooked, but when you really think about it, I help a lot of people all the time. And whether it's me giving them money, and that's even got a little bit to do with it now, which if I had more money, I would help out a lot more people. But I just give a lot of people inspiration and hope. You know, I mean, we're here with a guy who's in the forces, and his legs blew off him, and he now has two amputated legs. And I just saw him, and he's the greatest guy. And I said to him, you know what? Don't give me that shit. You're lucky. You're lucky. He goes, I know, Vinny. He knows too. He's a cool cat. I said, I know, Vinny. I said, yeah, you're lucky, man. You know, you should be dead. I said, you're lucky. Look at you, get around. So what? So what? You got some prosthetic. Look at you. You get around better than anybody. You're smiling, laughing. You look good. Look at you. You got lucky.
And finally, I want to talk about the film, Bleed for This. Whose idea was the film, and how was it proposed to yourself?
Bleed for This was really, really awesome. It was a really good movie. Only based on the characters that played it, and the story itself is just, it's, you know, slightly incredible. And Miles Teller did the greatest job. Played me better than I could play me. He's awesome. And he's got a big movie coming out with Tom Cruise, with Top Gun. He's going to play Tom Cruise's son. So that's going to be a big one. That's going to make another run around for Bleed for This, because people are going to go back and see what he did. And they're going to see he did a great movie in Bleed for This. Because a lot of people didn't see it because they didn't advertise it properly. But on another note, my Pierre girl Zena, I love her. She's the bomb. I miss my parents. My career was great. I don't regret a thing.
Vinny Paz, that's all we've got time for. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it.